What's up, everybody? Hello, hello. Once you join, let me know in the comments, in the chat box. Got a ton of people hopping on. Hi, Ashley. Thank you for joining us right at 12 o'clock. Hey, Paul. How's it going? Long time no talk. Hi, Don. Hello, David Bamber. Broadcasting out of beautiful Tampa, Florida, where it's like 102 degrees today. You start sweating going from your house to your car. Can you guys hear me okay in the chat box? Let me know if you can hear me okay. Hello, Michael Evans. Michael Evans, you're such a rock star. Dawn says, sure can. Awesome. Ashley says, excited to get some wisdom today. I need a break from grading schoolwork. Perfect. Very cool. All right, guys, we're giving about another minute. So you need to make sure you have your notepad and your pen. I want you to get out of Facebook. I want you to put your phone to the side. I texted my wife and said, baby, I got a webinar for the next hour. I am unavailable because I want your undivided attention, because just watching this webinar isn't going to be enough. You are actually going to have to take action on it. And if you've ever done any of my training, you are going to leave with like, all right, this is step 1, step 2, step 3 that you need to do. All right. Tim says, so ready for this. Hi, Madison. Hello, Kristen. Awesome. Hello, Roberto. Appreciate you guys hopping on. For those of you that this is the first time you've done any training with me, my name is Chris Rodriguez. We are the founders of the Martial Arts Entrepreneurs Facebook group, which is possibly where you found this link. And I am also the CEO of Grow Pro Agency. We're a digital marketing agency that runs Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube ads, blogging, social media management, email marketing, reputation marketing, and all of that kind of jazz. Roberto's saying, how long does the webinar last? We have about an hour for you today, okay? So make sure you have a few pages of notes. All right, guys, let's get right to it. I don't want to waste any more time. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. Boom. All right, David, can you see my screen? Awesome. If you guys can see my screen, let me know in the chat box over here. I like always seeing them in there. Beautiful. Okay, so I've always been a huge Facebook fan. All right, I've always been a huge Facebook fan. I love the platform, been on it for a very, very long time. But in terms of today buyers, okay, Google is really where the action is at. And you're going to actually get to take a deep dive into my personal Google My Business listing for my academy. And you're probably going to be shocked at the data, the insights that we're seeing over this past quarter, like what it was doing in the beginning of the year versus what it's doing now. And as you know, I think this is a really important training right now, because most of you, not all of you, most of you are starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel in terms of COVID, right? At the end of March, throughout April, you know, your probably traffic to your website was very, very small, because most parents for your kids' programs or adults, they know that you're closed and they're not really looking for martial arts during the COVID-19 pandemic. But now that businesses are starting to open up here in Florida, we are in our full phase 1. So we had 2 weeks of phase 1, and now we're in our second week of a full phase 1. And during the full phase 1, martial arts schools were able to open. So we've been open since Monday, May 18th. You know, so we've kind of seen exactly how our community is reacting to it. We should be entering phase 2 next week. So now that businesses are starting to open up, if you go to the beach, my son went to the beach last weekend and it was around 2 o'clock, and he actually had to turn around because the beach was full. They weren't allowing anybody else. So you know, initially when places were first starting to open, restaurants, there weren't a lot of people going, but you know, surely by surely, day by day, more and more people were going out. And for some people, they just need that social proof. So I think this is a really great training right now, because as the other businesses are starting to open up and people are getting back to normal, and I hate the term new normal, so don't use the term new normal. As we're getting back to normal, especially with summer coming and with a lot of activities not going to be able, you know, for the kids to do or for adults to do, you're going to start seeing more traffic come to your website for Google. All right. So what, you know, what is the difference between Facebook and Google? Well, Facebook is interest-based marketing. Basically, every time you scroll on your phone and every time you touch a button in Facebook, they are tracking it. And they're also listening, guys, all right? And they're reading your Facebook messages as well. And that's why, you know, maybe you have a conversation with your mate and then all of a sudden later that night, you've never looked up whatever you were talking about, but bam, you're being advertised to, right? So Facebook is all about our interests and our behaviors, and the algorithm, when we're launching ads, puts, you know, ads in front of the people that it feels like has shown interest based off of their interests and behaviors, okay? And what I think Facebook is really, really great for is building future buyers, okay? Google is intent-based marketing, all right? Let's say, you know, you wanted to get piano lessons for your child, okay? Or maybe your bicycle fixed, or your air conditioning unit broke down in your house, right? Where are you going? You're not going on Facebook. You're going on Google. And it's because you have an intent. And when somebody has an intent, they are much closer in the buying cycle to purchasing. All right. Something that I teach is called the customer journey, and there's 6 different stages in that customer journey. And the first 3 stages really have all to do about your marketing. So first it's awareness, next it's consideration, and then third it's purchase. So Google, if they're looking on Google, they're going to be a little bit closer to purchase than just somebody that is, you know, being marketed in a cold audience on Facebook. So because things are starting to open up in your area, you're going to have more people going to Google looking for activities for themselves or for kids, okay? So what we're going to be discovering today is we're going to do a main focus on your Google My Business, but I kind of want to give you this bird's eye overview understanding of how Google works, okay? So when you open up Google, right? So if I go to Google and I type in something, maybe it's, you know, air conditioning repair near me, okay? What it lands on is called the SERP, S-E-R-P, and that stands for Search Engine Results Page, okay? And when people are searching for a particular thing, there's a few places on this search engine results page that we want to populate on. Now, I have an extension here. I'm just going to X this out so it kind of looks more like what you would do. And one of those places is the ads, okay? That's Google Ads. And if you want to be all the way here at the top, then you got to pay. You got to pay to play. The next place we have is the 3-pack, okay? So the 3-pack is where Google Maps are. And if you're not at the top here, all right, we definitely want to be in the Maps section, the 3-pack section. And then underneath, we have organic listings, okay? So we're going to kind of cover the 3 different ways for you to get on the SERP and rank high, whether it's through Google Ads, you know, with the paid Google Ads, whether it's Google Maps, which you can actually show up on Google Maps with a Google ad. And then there's also free strategies that you can do to show up on the Google Maps, and then how to show up organically. And again, there's free strategies and there's paid strategies. Chad's asking, what is the extension for the AdWords? The extension that we use for the AdWords is called Keywords Everywhere. It's a Chrome extension that it's not free. It is a paid extension that you have to pay for the services, okay? And what it does is it basically just tells you how many people are searching for that particular keyword, all right? So if you look up here, air conditioning repair near me, around 880 people in my area are looking at it per month. All right. So it's just a cool extension that digital marketers use. Okay. So organically and showing up on the Google Maps is where your Google My Business listing is going to fit in. So I'm going to, show you like really the importance, and then we're literally going to go into Google My Business and we're going to go line by line so you can see. All right. So Google Ads, that's right at the top. Okay. It's ideally, what most people, when they're Googling, they're going to click on the first thing that they see. But in order to be all the way up here at the top, you have got to play. All right. Google Maps, so this is where we show up for Gracie Pack MMA. And then there's organically, so this is how our martial arts school shows up organically. And it can also be your blogs, right? Michael Evans is huge on blogs. Our highest showing blog is how much do martial arts classes cost? Because when you think of what search words and keywords that people are using, it's usually, based off of cost, right? That's kind of one of the first questions that we get in terms of, when people are calling us, okay? And then we have the Google My Business listing, and this is what we are going to go line by line by line, all right? So why is, it important to stay up to date with Google? Well, the SERP, the search engine results page, which is this right here, right, has really changed year after year after year, okay? And as you can see here, we've got an example from 2013 all the way to 2019, all right? And in 2013, try to zoom in a little bit quicker here. Back then, they used to put like this yellowish tint behind the ads, okay? And now they no longer do that. But what I want you to recognize is this first position on organic. It's only 330 pixels down. Now, if you look to last year's example, the first organic position was 1,050 pixels down. I mean, that is a huge jump. So if you are not doing Google Ads, if you do not optimize your Google My Business listing, if you're not on Google Maps, if you are not trying to get reviews, then your school's website potentially can be super, super low on that page, all right? And, there's so kind of what does this mean for us as school owners is that I want you to own the SERP. I want you to pop up at the top with Google Ads. I want you to be on the Google Maps, and I want you to show up organically, all right? So, all right, Chris, I know what I, got to do, but how do I do it? So let's just kind of start with Google Ads. We do a full training on Google Ads for our clients. It's also what we do for our clients with GrowPro. I'm not going to try to pull your chain here and tell you that I can explain how to, launch Google Ads in a 1-hour webinar. It's a huge platform the same way Facebook is. But in order for your school to show up in those first top 2 places, right? There's 2 ads at the top, and sometimes there's 2 ads right here for the AC companies. And if we go all the way down, there's also 2 ads at the bottom. I don't know about you, but I don't think I have ever clicked on a Google ad that was at the bottom of the page. Let me know in the comments. Have you guys ever scrolled all the way down to the bottom and clicked on a Google ad all the way down at the bottom of the page? It's just, what we're going to be clicking on is we are going to be clicking on the ads that are at the top in the 3-pack or all the way here for the organic listings. Yeah, Chad says, honestly, didn't even know ads were at the bottom, right? Most people don't even know that. So it's like, why would I want to pay for my ads? And these services, Hawkins Service here and Cool Quest, they're paying to show up down there, guys. I mean, it's nuts. Jim says never clicked there before, right? So if we are going to be running Google Ads, how do we show up at the top? Well, the way that, we are able to get to the top 2 ads is you've got to launch a campaign first, right? And you can do that, guys, at adwords.google.com. They basically have like a beginner platform, and they have something called an expert mode, okay? You can kind of equate this to the same thing as boosting posts in Facebook versus actually going in Facebook and utilizing the Facebook manager. All right, that's kind of the difference. So as most of you know, boosting posts usually, I mean, there is a time and place for boosting posts, but in terms of actually getting name, email, and phone number and leads and getting conversions and selling trials, that's not what you should do, right? There's a better way, and that's through the Facebook Ads Manager, but that means that there's more technical button pushing aspects you have to learn, and it also means that there's more strategy, okay? So they just basically have like a very easy way to build your AdWords campaign. And you can do that. You can try to do that, or you can switch to expert mode if you feel like, you know, you want to take that on. But in order to show up at the top 2 places, you've got to launch a campaign. All right. There's just no other way for you to show up there. So once you launch that campaign, how do you get to the top 2? That's a question I get a lot of the times. Like, Chris, I'm running Google Ads, but I'm still not showing up at the top. Well, when you launch a campaign, Google's actually going to give you a number, and it's called your ad rank, okay? And the way that you can show up in those top 2 places, either ad rank position number 1 or ad rank position number 2, is they take a few things into consideration. The first is your bid, right? And it's how much you are willing to pay to get somebody to click on it. Guys, got to remember, this is an auction. So if you're willing to pay 10 bucks to get somebody to click on your ad, and the next person is only willing to pay $5, well, that's going to help you have a better ad rank. And, you know, Google wants your money. I believe the actual statistic is 89% of Google's revenue comes from Google Ads. All right. So they want to take your money, but they're also going to take into consideration your quality score. And this where, you know, really either training yourself in how to run Google Ads or hiring a company comes into place, because your quality score is based off of how good your ad is. All right, whether or not you're using keywords in the headlines, what keyword phrases you're using, as well as the landing page itself. All right, so all of those things, your headlines, your keywords, and the landing page go into this quality score. So Google basically takes your bid, how much you're willing to pay for a click, and they add the quality score together, and that gives you an ad rank. All right, and if you are in the ad rank position 1 or 2, then you get to show up at the top. So that's how you show up at the top of Google. If you're in the ad rank position 3 and 4, then guess where you're showing up? You're showing up all the way down here at the bottom of the page, okay? And yes, guys, those people are actually paying for that, which is nuts, okay? So that is one way to get into the position at the top, is with Google Ads. It's really the only way, all right? If you want to be at the top of the page up here, you've got to run that ad, okay? The next thing, the next way for you to take over the SERP, the search engine results page, is by being in what we affectionately call the 3-pack, okay? And that's really where that Google Maps listing is, okay? So here's an example of the 3-pack if you Googled martial arts schools in Tampa, Florida. And you see us, which is Gracie Pack MMA. Now, this screenshot is probably from, I want to say, late 2019, because if you look at us now, I think we have like 157 Google reviews. So this is a little bit older of a screenshot. And then you got Martial Arts Kids After School Program, and then you got Gracie Tampa South, MMA, and BJJ, okay? So how do you show up in this 3-pack? How do you show up? Well, one, you've got to make sure that your Google My Business is optimized and that you're on Google Maps, okay? Like if you're not on Google Maps, well, it's probably because you haven't claimed your Google My Business listing, or you haven't created your Google My Business listing. The other thing that they take into consideration is your reviews, okay? And if you look at our reviews versus the other reviews, I mean, we're blowing them out of the water. Like, it's not even a competition. I mean, we're ahead by 4 laps here, okay? And guess who reviews really matter to? Reviews really matter to moms, all right? If you look at buying, you know, if you look at the #1 website for, you know, online purchases, Amazon. Most people, when they go on Amazon, right, they look at, you know, they would put a search term into Amazon, right? So let's say I go to Amazon here, and we are wanting to find a baby monitor with heart rate and oxygen. So, you know, we have a newborn. My wife, like, you know, does one of those like straight up out of the bed if she hears them making some sound. So we are interested in getting a baby monitor. As you can see, again, the top two, they're sponsored, right? It pays to play and being able to go up at the top there, right? So let's say I go to this Owlet Smart Baby Monitor. Me as a mom, you know what the first thing that I'm doing, guys? Do you really think I'm going to read all of that? I ain't reading all that. You know where I'm going? I'm going down, and I'm going to keep going down, and I am going down to the reviews. I want to see what other people say. I also want to see their pictures because you know, sometimes companies can do a really great job. You see this like in hotels, right? They get that perfect angle for the picture, and then you show up to the hotel and you're like, what did I just walk into? But I want to see what other parents are saying, all right? So Amazon really has kind of changed our buying behavior when we are looking to purchase products or services. So it's imperative that you know, are focusing on your Google reviews. Now, the location that that person is in, where they are at, where they are actually Googling also plays a role into whether or not they are going to show up in this maps. GMB means Google My Business, okay? So then you also, if you click on, you know, the actual map, it'll bring you over to the map section. And this is just kind of a bird's eye view of all of the different martial arts schools in Tampa, Florida. Here's our academy, Gracie Pack. And on the map section, as you can see over on the left-hand side, ads can also show up. So you got West Chase Impact Martial Arts, Ingrams Karate, and then you have us, okay? So they were actually the top two. So I think it's really important. I'm trying to drive home this point, guys, the importance of the reviews and ratings. This is basically just a spreadsheet I put together after looking through all of these different schools over here. We have the highest at 132 with a 5-star rating. The next highest is 46, and they have a 4.5. You know, I mean, obviously convenience, right? I mean, if this traditional Taekwondo Carrollwood is, you know, 30 seconds away from this potential prospect, convenience usually will win out, but not always. Some of the times it will, but not always. So the other thing that parents are looking at, and adults as well, is your number of reviews, all right? So if you have done a great job during COVID-19 servicing your members and offering, you know, I mean, our members reach out to us almost on a daily basis just to thank us on how much hard work we've put in over the last 2.5 months. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but we've never worked harder in our school, and we always work pretty hard. But when you have people reaching out and saying, thank you so much for, you know, taking care of us during this time, it's a great opportunity for you to ask for a Google review. Okay. Now, I could do an entire Google review training on how to get Google reviews. I have done it in the past, but just to kind of, you know, touch on some basic points, have a how-to flyer so they know how to create a link, especially with people coming back on, or they know how to leave a review with people coming back on site. This is also digital. You can post this in your Facebook group. You could blast it out in an email, but don't assume people know how to leave Google reviews because not everybody does. Okay. Go in for the ask. You got to ask. Announce it at the end of your class. Put it in your new member packet. Have a new member autoresponder sequence, okay? So when people are, you know, when they first become members, you automatically have these emails that get sent out to be able to ask them to leave a review. We actually are pretty close to the Tampa airport, so we get a lot of people in town on business. And traditionally in the jiu-jitsu community, you have what's called you know, like a drop-in fee. And for most jiu-jitsu schools, they usually will charge anywhere from $20 to $50 for a visitor drop-in. So most people are prepared to pay that. Well, when they come in and they say, how much for a drop-in? We actually say, well, normally it's $25. But, you know, if you can leave us an honest Google review, we'll go ahead and waive that, all right? So this visitor drop-in is an easy way to get out-of-towners to give you reviews. And as a bonus, host a friendly contest with another academy. This is actually what we did in the beginning when we first wanted to hit triple digits. Is the Pendergrasses, who are two of my clients for the 18 Mastermind, we did a friendly contest. You could hit triple digits first, okay? Jackie says, and add the Google how-to about every 4 to 6 months for existing students, for sure, right? So guys, one thing that's really important, I think Jackie brings up a great point here, just in general for your martial arts school. I'm just going to go off on a little bit of a tangent. Don't assume just because you put something up once in your school that people are always going to see it, right? This is why when you have a pro shop, it's very important that at the minimum on a quarterly basis, you are rotating things in your pro shop, okay? Because when something looks the same over and over and over again, it now just becomes part of the scenery and people aren't going to notice it. So we try to do it every other month in changing out our pro shop. Same thing with like your news bulletin board, or maybe you put, your Google review how-to on the front desk. Maybe you move it to the coffee station, then maybe you move it near the water fountain each time, all right? Great point, Jackie. So I'm going to answer some of these questions before we move on. I love when you guys ask questions. It means you're paying attention. Jim says, great tip of the mat fee exchange. I get a lot of travelers because of the the airbase. Yeah, I mean, $25. I'm not trying to discredit $25. That's great. But honestly, a 5-star Google review is worth more to me than $25. I'd rather have that. And here's kind of the bonus that happens. Most people are already expecting to pay a drop-in fee. So they already have that money. That money's already been spent in their head. So a lot of times, I would say about 80% of the time, those people end up purchasing a shirt from our pro shop. So it's like, man, we made money on the sale of the shirt, plus we got the 5-star review, and this person thinks we're awesome because we waived the visitor drop-in. It's just kind of a win-win-win, right? Amanda says, can you explain the friendly contest for Google reviews with another school? Absolutely. So everybody loves a friendly competition, right? When you put, a competition in place, it fires people up. So what I did with the Pendergrasses about 4 years ago, when they first joined our A team, was we both were kind of, nearing that triple-digit mark. And we decided with each other, whoever gets to 100 Google reviews wins first. And I think we put like $100 bet on it. And you could do something like that. You could do, if you wanted to get a charity involved, whoever loses has to donate to a charity. It could just, be for pride if you wanted to do that. But we were very close. We were both like in the 60s in terms of where we were at for Google reviews. So we told our members, said, listen, guys, we're actually doing a Google review contest against another jiu-jitsu school, okay? We didn't tell them, the name of the jiu-jitsu school or where they were located. It's not really important. You could, okay? But basically we said we made a bet against another jiu-jitsu school that we would hit 100 5-star reviews before they do. Are we going to lose to another jiu-jitsu school? Are you guys going to let that happen? So we made these announcements at the end of class, and what that really helped us do was just to really throw some fuel to the fire in terms of building our Google reviews, because most people, if you ask to leave a Google review, they're going to say yes, all right? I've never been turned down when somebody left a Google review. They said yes, but sometimes they will forget. So adding this kind of competition will help to fuel that fire. And the other thing that you could do is if you didn't want to host the competition with another school, you could basically say, listen, our goal is to hit 100 Google reviews. When we do so, we're going to rent out the local skating rink, okay, or something like that, or we'll have a pizza party. Now, I got to put a disclaimer here, okay? Technically, for Google reviews, there's not allowed to be a transaction that happens. So a lot of companies will be like, oh, if you leave us a Google review, we'll give you a water bottle, or we'll give you a coffee mug, or you can get 10% off. You're technically not allowed to do that. It goes against Google's policy. Do I think the Google police are going to come knocking on your door? No, I don't think the Google police are going to come knocking on your door, but just be, I just want you to have that knowledge that technically you're not supposed to trade, right? Oh, if you give me a 5-star review, I'll give you $10, all right? So there's your disclaimer. Great questions, guys, all right? Let's get back to the training. Again, I could talk, we could do an entire webinar just on Google reviews, okay? So we want to increase your Google reviews. And then finally, the third way to take over the search engine results page is organically, right? And organically means that you are showing up under the ads, under the 3-pack, and these are where the organic listings begin, all right? And they keep going and going and going as the second page and the third page. And to give you a little digital marketing humor, Where's the best place to hide a dead body? On page 2 of Google. All right. Why do we say that? Because how often do people actually go to page 2 of Google? I mean, it's very, very rare that people are going to be scrolling all the way down and looking at that second page. They're either going to be clicking on the ads, they're going to be clicking on the 3-pack, or they're going to be clicking at one of the websites that show up top. All right. So there's a few things that go into play in terms of showing up organically. And as you can see, we're not at the top. It's something that, we still work on a day-to-day basis. And I'm going to talk to you about the 10 things that go into place in terms of your organic listings. And first, the number one thing that Google looks at is whether or not you have a secure and accessible website. All right. So we use Market Muscles for our website. These websites are already built out to be optimized with search engine optimization, SEO. So, if you don't have a secure and accessible website, you're not going to show up at the top. They're also looking at page speed, including how fast your website loads on a mobile device. They're also looking whether or not it's mobile friendly, right? The majority of, you guys right now might be on a desktop, but the majority of your prospects, when they're Googling, they're going to be on their mobile device. Your website has to be mobile friendly. And this is pretty interesting. Most people don't know this. Your domain age actually will, help or hurt your positioning. So if you look at this here, so this Gracie Tampa South, they've been open for almost 15 years, and we've only been open for about 8. So their domain is a lot older than ours. And that actually plays into whether or not you will rank high organically, whether or not you're doing optimized content, right? So the words on the pages, the pictures on the pages, the blogs that you're doing, is it optimized for keywords that people are searching for? Then you have the technical SEO button pushing stuff, kind of the nerd out stuff, keyword phrases in the page titles, header tags, meta descriptions, keyword phrases and image tags. If you're like, Chris, you're speaking another language, I mean, this is the benefit of hiring a company to do this for you, right? Then they look at user experience. When somebody clicks on your website, is it taking too long to load? Are they immediately bouncing off? How long are they spending on your site? What kind of links do you have on your site? Are people sharing content from your website, right? Are they sharing content on Facebook? Are they sharing content on Instagram from your website? And the most important thing, and the reason why we're training on Google My Business, is because they're looking for real business information. This is the most important aspect of it, guys. Is your name, address, and phone number, your NAP, is it consistent across all of the different platforms? Do you have a business listing on Google My Business and Facebook, right? If you don't have a Facebook business page, this should, give you some fire to do that. Do you have reviews on Google and on Facebook and relevant directories like Yelp, which I hate Yelp? And then do you, are there the right local search terms? So are the keywords that you are putting on your website relevant to the local search terms that parents or adults would be looking at to find martial arts, okay? So hopefully you understand the importance of having a Google My Business listing and making sure that it is optimized. It's literally the most important aspect of showing up organically. So if you want to show up, organically here, okay, if you want to show up on the 3-pack, your Google My Business listing is going to play into your ability to do that, all right? Jackie says, so Market Muscles has us covered on nerd. Absolutely, I do, and I would call him, I would say this to his face, Steven's probably the biggest nerd I know, and he would probably take that as a compliment. I know I would, right? If you're unable to get a Market Muscles site, guys, there are other companies like Website Dojo, 97 Display that also offer this. You're going to pay a premium in terms of a recurring monthly fee, but it's because they can handle anything and everything that has to do with your website, and they handle it very quickly, all right? So this brings us to the Google My Business setup, all right? And Emily's asking, if we were to ask our members for reviews, would you rather have a Google or Facebook review? I mean, I'd rather have both, but Google is more powerful. Okay. And Facebook no longer has reviews. Facebook now has what they call recommendations. Okay. So if I go to Facebook here, You used to be able to get reviews like numbers 1 through 5, you know, very similar to a Google review on your Facebook page. But early in 2019, Facebook changed that, and it's no longer reviews. It's now just recommendations. So basically, people would either say, yes, they recommend your business, or no, they don't recommend your business. Okay. Now, if you had a business page that was, of course, the internet's going to be slow right now. If you had a business page that was up and running prior to that change, then you'll still have, you know, the reviews, and ours is a 4.9 here. But now it's basically, as you can see, this is our latest one for March 17th. It's not a numbered star review. It's either just yes or no. Okay. So this person recommends, this person recommends, you know, this one's from back in 2016 and we got a 5-star review. So that kind of shows you the difference between previously in 2019 and now, how that works. Okay. If I had to have a choice, I'm taking the Google review every day of the week and twice on Sunday. All right. It's just, it's worth more to me, but I want both, right? Why can't we have both? Why can't we have our cake and eat it too? So my first question to you is, did you set up Google My Business completely? Is it 100% accurate? And is it verified? So if you haven't done this in the past, you can just basically go to business.google.com. Okay. And if you've set it up in the past, it'll prompt you to log in. If you haven't set up, it'll prompt you to sign up. And there is a waiting period in terms of getting your listing verified, because they don't want anybody and everybody just to be able to claim your listing. So what happens is when you go in, if you've never claimed your listing, when you go in to claim that listing, they're going to email you a little card that has like a little password in it. So you have to wait for the snail mail to come in. And that can take, you know, anywhere from 7 to 14 days. So once that comes in, then you'll be able to verify the listing. And it's just, you know, a protection policy that they put in place to make sure that nobody else claims your listing. All right. So if you have claimed it, and probably most of you have, the question then becomes, have you optimized it 100%? Okay. And most people haven't. Most people have not gone in line by line by line by line and have, you know, made sure that everything on this page is, you know, exactly the way that it should be. All right. So we're actually going to go through this line by line. I have some screenshots of what it used to be. But again, guys, business.google.com. Make sure you also have it as a bookmark, because you should be posting on this daily. What? You can post on Google My Business? Yes, absolutely you can. All right. I'm going to take a little sip of my magic juice here. If you have any questions, let me know. Emily says, awesome, great to know. Thank you. No problem. All right. So once you're logged into your Google My Business listing right here, okay, this is basically your dashboard, your home. All right. They, about 2 months ago, put this staying connected during COVID-19, because a lot of places shut down, right? Yours included. A lot of restaurants, you know, if they weren't able to take online orders or do delivery or things of that nature, they were shut down. So you could actually post, you know, your specific COVID update. All right. It will prompt you to advertise. Why? Because they want to make your money. They want to make their money. It'll give you just an overview of performance. And this is really sad to me, and it's not something that I'm excited to show you, but it's the truth, and it's transparency, right? Like, look at our searches. Our searches in the past 28 days, our search views are down by 2.11 thousand. Our map views are down by 2.94 thousand. All right. And more than likely, if you had a strong Google My Business presence prior to COVID, you're seeing the very similar as well. All right. So it'll give you the performance. Ron says, love using the COVID-19 update. Yeah, it's great, guys. So definitely, you know, if you're still not open yet, you're going to want to utilize that. Adam says, we still love you. I love you too, man. Thank you. Adam's one of our awesome Grow Pro clients and is a CMA licensee. It'll also have your latest posts over here. It'll have your reviews. Okay. It'll have customer photos. It'll also, you know, just kind of prompt you if you want to get more reviews, if you want to accept bookings on Google, if you want to get the app. And this is really neat. It says businesses like yours are posting. And I'm always interested to see what other type of businesses are posting. So the Cove K Golf Club is posting. Pure Bar hasn't posted since April 27th. The Pebble Creek Golf Club, Gold's Gym, Harbor Island Athletic Club, the Chichi Rodriguez Golf Club, Anytime Fitness, Bella's Nutrition. Did you see any martial arts schools? No. And it's because most of them don't even know that you can be posting. All right. So let's jump into that posting section. So when you go to post, this is going to look a little different because of the COVID situation. You see, you got COVID support and then the COVID-19 update. Typically, you're only going to see add offer, add update, or add an event. Very similar to Facebook, you can put a post. So if you look at our post today, it's a post of me choking the crap out of this chick. I love the guillotine. I'm also showing a little leg there, right, David? Show a little leg on that. Yeah, you did. As many of you know, David is a expert photographer. This is one of his shots. He does so good in an action shot. I mean, this is literally, I'm jumping and rolling and diving from the guard to snap her head for the guillotine, and he got that action shot, right? So this is just a basic post, okay? Now, a lot of questions that I get in terms of posting is, Chris, can I just take what I put on Facebook and, you know, post it on Google? You can. However, unless you had like an actual engagement style of post. So if you look at our post from today, we utilized an engagement post, which basically asks people what their opinion is, right? So if you had to be trapped in a TV show for a month, which show would you choose? This is very relevant to the type of content that's on Facebook. Why? Because everybody loves giving their opinion on Facebook, right? So they like going in there and they like commenting. With your Google My Business listing, people aren't going in and commenting, all right? It's just something that they would see if they looked at your Google My Business listing. So when I Google Gracie Pack MMA, if you scroll down, you're gonna see the posts at the bottom. Oh, it's not showing it. There we go. All right, so it's actually right underneath. So this is where it's showing my COVID updates from my business. And it usually shows other posts here as well. So your post should be showing on your Google My Business. So basically what it does is it makes your posting a little bit beefier. Okay, so if you're not having a ton of photos, if you don't have any pictures from the outside, if you don't have any reviews, I like to use the analogy of, you know, let's say you go to McDonald's and you get a burger from McDonald's, right? When you watch a McDonald's commercial, all right, and you see the picture of the burger, it's like this huge, big, thick, juicy burger. And then you go to get a burger from McDonald's and you open it and it's like completely flattened out, right? It's completely different. I don't want you to have that completely flattened out burger. I want you to have a nice big listing. And the way to be able to get a bigger listing is to add posts on there. And what it also does is it shows people that you're posting consistently. So this was a post that we did. We do this every single day. All right. We also throw our schedule on there as well. Here's our Memorial Day post. The only day we don't post is on Sunday. Now, what's cool is you can also put an offer on here. So let's say you were doing a free community event. Let's say you had a grand reopening. You can actually put an offer, and you can even add coupon codes and links for people to redeem that offer. This is very similar to Facebook offers that you can do as well, all right? And these are different Facebook offers that we've done in the past. A lot of people don't know you can actually put on free offers on your Facebook page. You can also do this on Google My Business. And you can do events, all right? If you just kind of wanted to do like a what's new post, right? This is what I would consider a what's new post, all right? Now, what? Oh, David, where are you at? Yeah, guys, thank you for letting me know. That's David's job. He's officially fired. Can you guys see my screen now? Let me know in the chat box. Thank you. All right, great, gotcha. So let me go back, guys. So you can have this ability to do this ad offer. You have this ability to do the ad update. You have the ability to add an event. And this is very similar to your Facebook platform, right? You have offers here, you have events here, you have your normal posts. So they all kind of overlap each other, all right? So again, it's just giving you the ability to have more awareness, all right? Michael said aliens got him, right? I don't know what he's doing over there, right? So guys, you should post on this, all right? And here's my little ninja tip for you, okay? If you throw your schedule on there, usually your schedule is full of terms that people would be Googling, right? So like martial arts, Gracie Pack, jujitsu, kickboxing. And I get this question a lot, like, Chris, I see you add your schedule every day. Why? That's why, all right? Because it will actually help you show up if you are putting those key terms in your Google My Business posts as well as your information. LT's asking, Miss, where I get in my Google My Business. That's business.google.com. Business.google.com. Okay. So, guys, the same way you post on Facebook each day, I want you to post on Google. Okay. So, this is really important. And this is your information page. Okay. You've got to make sure, guys, that all of this is proper to the T. And I want you to try to use as many search words and phrases that people use in your description down here. So it's just got the typical like services. What services do you provide? Now, services you can also access down here on the left-hand side, but these are specific categories that Google has. You can't make your own category, all right? So, maybe you put like jujitsu school and nothing's showing up. Well, it's just because it's not a category that they have, unfortunately. They have Muay Thai, they have karate, they have Taekwondo, but your primary category should be martial arts, and then you can add additional categories. So that means that anytime, people are searching for these types of categories, that you have the possibility of being showcased on the search engine results page. You want to make sure that your address is the same across all of the platforms. What your service area is, and then your schedule. Guys, please make sure you're not putting your class schedule on here. This needs to be your office hour schedule, because for many of you, your class schedule doesn't start until 5. So if I'm a parent and I'm Googling martial arts schools in your area and I'm doing it on my lunch break, and I see your listing and it says you're not open until 5 p.m., it literally will say closed in red on your listing. So guess what? I'm not calling you. I'm calling your competitor that says that they are open. So that's a little tip. You need to make sure you have your office hours, not just your class hours, okay? You can even put specific holiday hours like July 4th if you're going to be closed for that. And then it has your different social media handles, your website. You can even put appointment links in here. So we use the Spark Online Appointment Scheduler. So this is actually if somebody clicked on this right now, we are not taking new members. So you're going to see there's no appointments available, but typically we would offer one-on-ones. The reason why we're not taking new students right now is just because we just opened up and we want to be able to service our current members. So last week, this week, we're not doing any free introductory lessons. So that's why it says no appointments available. But if you did have an online calendar, maybe you use Calendly or you use Acuity and you want people to be able to book right from Google, you can actually do that, which is really cool, okay? And then down here, guys, this is just your, like, basically an About Me section. And I want you to make sure that this section here is full of the keywords and the phrases that you think people will search for, all right? So this is what I mean by optimizing your profile, going through with a fine-tooth comb every single one of these and updating them, doing the same thing on a daily basis, posting. Now, let's get to the little depressing site, which is the insights, okay? At the top, it shows me my queries. Queries is just a fancy word for search, all right? So it means, like, what searches are used to find your business. And it can break it down the last quarter, the last month, and the last week, okay? It also will show, so these are words, if you were going to be doing Google Ads, these are words that you want to make sure are in your keywords that you are bidding for. Okay, these are the words that people are searching for in our area to try to find businesses like ours, okay? Next up, you have how's customers search for your business. So it'll show you if they're doing direct, if they're finding me in other places, or if they're finding our listing from brands related to our businesses. Okay. So this basically shows you that, you know, we have a lot of customers who find our listing searching for because they're actually looking for the particular service. Okay. And then the direct, that means people that actually plugged in Gracie Pack MMA. All right. So this is great. This means, you know, almost 80% of our people are, you know, discovering us due to the keywords and to our Google My Business platform. All right. So this is where I kind of want to show you, which is this last quarter. All right. So this is what's a little depressing. So if you look in March, right? So March 8th, haven't really been affected by COVID-19. I want you to look at the number of visits to our website, right? 13 visits, 6 visits, 6 visits, 5 visits, 18 visits, okay? Also look at requests for directions. 12 people requested. 2 people called us right from our listing. That means they found our listing on Google, they clicked the little phone number, and now they are actually calling us right from there, okay? So that is, you know, I mean, these are great numbers. And then, dun, 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 COVID-19 hits, right? That's right around that second week of March. Look at our numbers now. 6 people, 1, 4, 2. Look at people calling us. Look at people requesting. Nobody's requesting directions. I mean, the highest we have is 2. This is in May. All right. So, guys, these are the trends due to COVID-19. This is why your website, you know, if you're not getting phone calls, if you're not getting leads, this shows you. All right. So this is pretty interesting to be able to look at. And now it looks like, you know, we're starting to get on a little bit more of a spike. 9 visits of our website on May 18th, 3 people called us. All right. So this gives you some, you know, insights to your customer actions. This is really neat too. It actually shows you where people are requesting directions from. And this is a good tool to use. Maybe you wanted to open up a second location. Like, man, there's a lot of people in South Tampa down here, which my brother from another mother owns a school down there, so I wouldn't do that. But this will also give you a good understanding of when you are setting up radiuses or when you are utilizing zip codes in your Facebook advertising, where you should focus your efforts on. All right. So we have a lot of people, you know, the darker that it gets means the more. So like the Citrus Park area, this town and country area, these are where the customers are living that are requesting directions from our business. And I think it's pretty neat that we even have people all the way up here, you know, Tarpon Springs. That's obviously not our ideal clientele though, okay? It'll even break down the number of phone calls and the time of the day. So for us, 9 a.m., that kind of like 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. and then 6 p.m. That's when we're getting the most phone calls. So this will, you know, like, I don't know what my office hours should be. Well, look, this is telling you what your offer hours should be. Okay, your office hours should be. This is really interesting as well, guys. These are photo views. Okay, and this is telling me how many people have looked at our photos. And this is something I'm pretty proud of. And I know David's really proud of this as well. Is that if you look at us, you know, in the last month, 23.8 thousand photos have been viewed. And if you look at businesses like you, they're only at 6.85 thousand. So what this is telling me is we're really knocking it out of the park. And the reason is because we are posting consistently. And when I post, I always use a photo. And we also update our photos on our Google My Business listing. All right, guys, best known beats best. I think we are the best regardless, but you know, we're also trying to be the best known. Doesn't matter if you're the best if nobody knows you. Best known beats best, okay? And then as you can see, photo quantity, right? We have a lot more photo quantity of our own owner pictures and even our customer photos, right? Our customers are going on and posting photos on our listing than other businesses compared to us, okay? Anna asks, is there any way to schedule a Google post that you recommend? Not to my knowledge, unfortunately. Anna, great question. Jim, Google My Business on app or desktop. I just do it through the website. I've never personally utilized it on an app. Okay. You can definitely download the app on your phone if you're kind of on the go person. You know, I have a desk that I sit down at every day in our headquarters and our offices here. So I just use the desktop version. Moving on to reviews. Okay. This is really interesting. I'm gonna do a sidebar here. So Maddie Manley right here. Okay. Maddie Manley left us a really nasty review 8 weeks ago. Okay. And basically said that our school it was an adult. And obviously Maddie Manley, we don't understand, I know who that is. It's not their real name. What they said was that our place was super loud. It sounded like a daycare because there were so many kids. And, you know, just said a few, you know, not so nice. And they gave us a 1-star review. So I went in, so this was 13 weeks ago because this was our response. And guys, this is where you got to kill them with kindness, okay? This was our response, and this was 13 weeks ago. It was very professional. You know, we asked if they could provide us with their actual name so we could reach out to them to try to make amends. Well, 8 weeks ago, look what they're saying now. Thank you for letting me visit. It was a positive overall experience, and the owners have shown true black belt character. Good luck, Gracie Pack. My professional response, which I had to type this out a few times because there was a couple of times I wanted to give a big one of those two, right? But the professional response, we've never heard anything back from this person, changed their review from a 1-star to a 5-star. And the reason why I was so pissed off about this review, it brought us from a 5.0 to a 4.9. And it kind of, guys, only takes one bad review to drop you down. It's kind of like school, right? Very easy to bring your grades down to a C or a D. Very difficult to bring them back up. So you need to go in and make sure that you're replying. And I want you to reply to every single review. Now, I will say, you know, if you go back and look at some of the people that you haven't replied to are from many, many years ago, and maybe you didn't leave, you know, maybe they left on a not so good standing, don't go in and reply because they're going to get notified that you replied to them. And if you guys didn't leave it, you know, maybe they left this awesome Google review when they first met you, but they had a bad experience, so they left, but they never changed it. You're basically going to wake a sleeping bear. All right. So don't do that. But you should make it a habit to respond to good reviews. It's always easy and fun to respond to good reviews, right? Not so much to respond to bad reviews though. All right. So you want to go in, always be professional. If you need to, you know, do one of those where you type it out, where you get really mad and then you just delete it, do that to get it out of your system. All right. But you need to go in and respond to all of those. Messaging is not something that we have set up. We have a plethora amount of ways for people to contact us, and we just don't have the messaging set up here. You absolutely can, but that is just something that we don't have set up. We want them to text us directly to our telephone number and save our number in there. Photos. These are all photos, and we also have videos in there. As you can see, these are all testimonial videos, guys. These are all social proof. We have social proof from adult members. We have social proof from parents. We even have social proof from the kids, right? So it's important to upload your videos. It's important to upload your pictures, high quality pictures, especially if you've done any updates in your facility, like Ron Graziano, right? He recently moved into this huge, beautiful, built it from the ground up. Ron, if you haven't gone in and updated your Google My Business listing with some of the new pictures of your brand new facility, you're gonna wanna make sure you do that, right? So if you look down here, this is, you know, when we moved in. These pictures down here are all of our old facility, all right? So now when you go up a little bit higher, you have pictures of our new facility, okay? So I'm of the kind of thought, the more the better, guys, right? And they can break down, there's different categories like, you know, by the owner, by the customer, any videos that you have. If you have 360 videos, so we actually have a walkthrough that you can do through our facility, which is really neat. You know, interior pictures, exterior pictures, at work, you have your team. These are newer, these team and at work ones. But if you had, you know, like pictures of your team working, you could also do that as well. All right. Bookings. If you utilize any of these, you can actually have people book through this. This isn't what we use, so we don't use this. We don't use Mindbody. We don't use Bookio. We don't use these other platforms. So we would just prefer to have them book from the link here, right? So when you Google Gracie Pack, right? If I Google Gracie Pack here, you have this appointments where they can click on that and it brings them to that scheduler. All right. But if you wanted to use these other platforms that Google My Business recommends, then you could connect. Maybe you're a Mindbody client, right? Mindbody is a very popular CRM. It's really geared more towards like small boutique and like yoga studios and Orange Theory and things of that nature. Okay. Services, this is pretty redundant to what we did in the info section up here, right? We have your services over here, but this is just the services department. So you have your primary category, and then you would have your subcategories as well. Chris, you say you're a karate school? Yes, because I'm a smart marketer, all right? I don't think it's misleading. I think most people think karate and martial arts is all the same. I think it's going to be very rare that somebody is looking for a very specific style of karate. All right. And we know that parents are Googling karate in Tampa. All right. Wrapping it up here, you actually Google My Business gives you a website. Guys, I mean, don't let this be your only website that you can build out. You can even have users as well. So if there's other people that you want to be managing, you can actually add them. I take care of the Google My Business solely. This is still part of my job description in terms of Gracie Pack. I take care of the Facebook and the Google My Business listing. So I'm the only one. If you wanted to launch an ad, you can do that. If you're opening up a second location, you can actually add another location here as well. So your homework assignment, guys, is to go through, and I want you to go line by line and optimize your listing. And if maybe you did this, maybe you took my 8-week marketing mastermind course and you did this a while ago, but you haven't updated it recently, I want you to go ahead and do that. All right. Let me bring me over back to this. All right, so here's my call to action. If you want my team and I just to do this for you, go to growproagency.com/survey. All right, you do have to fill out a quick little survey. It makes sure that you're really interested. And I offer a lead acceleration session, guys. This is where you and I get on the phone and I actually do a full audit of your Facebook and your Google platform. All right, as well as your website. So I do a full audit. I bring it up on how exactly we can help you. All right. But let me continue to help you and answer these questions over here. So we have Ashley, do you take photos yourself or utilize professional photography mostly? I utilize this dude right there. There he is, right? There's your 30 seconds of fame, right? So David actually is our in-house resident photographer. A few years back, he wanted to kind of level up his skill set, and he always loved photography and videography. So he started, and now he's in what I would consider an expert level. So, it's part of his job description, part of his role that he plays in our businesses. Great question. Is it absolutely a necessity? I mean, it depends on where you're at in your business, right? I mean, he gets paid to do that. I'm in a position to pay him to do that. Not everybody is, okay? I do believe, at least, guys, photography is a very common hobby that a lot of people have, okay? And there's probably quite a few students and parents that like photography as a hobby that you could, just reach out and ask, hey, would you be willing to come in? And I'm not talking about bartering, just, hey, would you be willing to come in and take some pictures and snap some pictures for, our online platforms, okay? I mean, at the end of the day, if you're, seeing a picture like this, which is a high quality picture, or you're seeing an unhigh quality picture, I mean, you can't see my screen. Let me share my screen. Boom. Right. So if you're seeing a high quality picture like this, we're one of the most expensive schools in the area. So I want to make sure that everything online says, hey, we're going to charge a premium service. You're going to get a premium value, but we're charging a premium service. Okay. So that's something to consider. Zanab says, under the info tab, you said to update every day, just like we do Facebook. What are you updating daily on Google My Business? Yeah, so if you just want to kind of take a peek at some of the things that some of our posts. So here's an example, right? So this is just a picture and it's got our schedule. Here's another example, another picture in our schedule. This was Memorial Day. We'll put quotes, teach your daughters to worry less about fitting in glass slippers and more about shattering glass ceilings. Just a friendly reminder, we are resilient and can get through anything. You know, this is just from our pack to yours. You know, thank you. We are open, right? So there's updates in terms of when we're opening. You know, we're back. Here's our on-site classes start back up. These are, you know, what we're doing. So very similar to like you would do your Facebook posts as well. Virtual martial arts, there's always a way. All right. So that's the type of content that we put out there. Jim says, I've had a couple negative reviews that were never in our school. I think maybe the competition did them. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that happens now. You can flag a Google review. I have done that before, and it did work when I flagged the Google review. All right. When you flag a Google review, it gives you a couple of options on why you're flagging it. I chose the option that basically stated that there were legal implications that were going to occur. That was a little bit of a white lie. I chose that because I looked at all the other ones and like, it was like, oh, this person isn't telling the truth. And then it was like legal implications. I'm like, man, if I choose legal implications, Google's probably going to pay attention to this because they're getting a lot of, you know, negative reviews flagged. So you can absolutely flag a review, give them detailed response. You know, I would even go as far like, here's a screenshot of our CRM with me Googling this person's name. They're not even in our database. They've never been to our facility. Okay. Jackie, a citizen posted pics of a now closed location. Is there any way to get those down? That's a good question. I don't believe so. I think what you would have to do is ask other customers to post. So you're basically lowering where that picture is placed, right? So if you don't have any other pictures, that one picture of a closed location is going to be front and center. But if maybe you ask all your parents, like, hey, here's a link, would you guys mind posting some pictures? You can actually drown out. So it's kind of similar to drowning out bad reviews as well, all right? Is there a way to add phone hours to let them know we are there for calls, even though, no, you can't. It's just whether you're open or not. That could possibly be something you added in the info section, right? The about me section, where at the bottom of the page, you list, you know, your mission statement, your core values, you know, your story. That's the area that I told you to be heavy with the keywords. But I believe it's just you're either open or you're not. That's it. Okay. Kristen, could you pull up that last slide again? Absolutely. It's my favorite slide because it's my call to action slide, right? So growproagency.com/survey. You know, guys, the purpose of this was to help you, but if you need help, this is what we do. This is what we're experts in. We actually have different programs where we will set up your Google My Business listing for you. So if you're like, man, it's a lot of work, I don't want to do that. You know, we have different packages where you have just kind of Facebook ads and Instagram ads, and we have higher level packages, which is Facebook and Google. We even do social media management where we will actually post your posts on Facebook every day, Monday through Friday for you. And our highest package even includes email marketing, reputation marketing. So we put things in place to help you get more Google reviews, as well as blogging. All right. So really just kind of dependent on where you're at in your academy, that would really kind of determine, you know, what your needs are. Anna, an easy way to get tons of pictures, hire a photographer during your belt promotions, make it available to your students. Absolutely. Yeah, I know, Anna, you do a lot of great job. Anna's taken our 8-week marketing mastermind course in the past, and she did that. Zanab, so are you posting different photos on Google, IG, and Facebook, or are you just sharing the same post? So Zanab, I went over that earlier. Like today's post was an engagement post, right? So like on Facebook, we showed today's post was, if you had to be trapped in a TV show for a month, which show would you choose? Well, people aren't posting on Google the same way. There's not that same engagement on Google My Business as there is on Facebook. So no, I didn't use this. So this was today's post, right? 2 hours ago. This is what I posted today on Facebook. And now if you look what I posted today on Google, it's different. There are some overlaps though. Yesterday, there was an overlap. Memorial Day, there was an overlap. We try not to overlap. So Facebook and Instagram usually will be the that's incorrect. Facebook and Google My Business, if there is going to be an overlap, it'll be between those two platforms. Or Instagram and Google My Business, there'll be an overlap between those two platforms. We try our best not to overlap Facebook and Instagram, all right? It's just, you know, Instagram is really about visually appealing posts, and a lot of times Facebook is more about engagement type posts, okay? that quote with the girl is fire, right? I absolutely love that. Teach your daughters to worry less about fitting in glass slippers and more about shattering glass ceilings. I'm all about women empowerment, okay? Love the legal implications. Can I get a 15 tele session about topic at hand? Because you are an awesome GrowPro client, Mr. Morales, absolutely. Tim, I have a picture of a squad car parked in front of my school. I've asked 3 times to have it removed with no results or contact. What can I do, if anything? Yeah, unfortunately, they, in the pictures, right? So if we've got those photos, you have the outside photos as well. Let me just go to Gracie Pack MMA, right? So your outside photos are taken by a car that drives around. You might have seen it. It's a Google car that drives around your area, and they have this huge like 360 camera on the top of the ceiling of the car that takes these pictures. So these are the pictures that they took. So for us, you've got David's car right there, you've got my car right here, and you've got Anna's car, right? So this was the picture that they took. Unfortunately, we now have like all stickers on our windows. You're not going to see that. It allows you to do 360, which is, this is kind of funny. This guy over here, he was being silly. Can actually go all around the parking lot as well. But, you know, I think the only way to get that updated is Google's got to come back out with their car, and they would have to resurvey your area, unfortunately. All right. So, you know, maybe just be conscious of, you know, I mean, we have, you know, for our after school program, we used to have, you know, vans, and we don't park them in the front. We normally park them in the back. So I don't, unfortunately, Tim, to answer your question, don't think there's any other way but just to get them to come back out. All right. Zanab says, gotcha. Adam says, boom. Awesome. All right, guys. Adam, GrowPro is a non-negotiable. If you're not with them yet, worth every penny and then some. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. All right, guys, are there any other questions? We went about 11 minutes over. I appreciate your time. You know, we had almost 40 participants on here. We try to really give you actionable advice. Most webinars and master classes you go on, you know, they're not really teaching you anything. They're just really trying to do a hard sell. There's no hard sell here. What I ask, you know, like, Chris, what you know, how can I help you? How can you help me? If you're in need of a digital marketing agency, I just ask you to consider us. I'm not even asking you to sign up with us. I ask you to consider us to help you with your digital marketing needs. Or if you know another school owner that is looking for, you know, somebody to run their Facebook, Instagram, Google, we even do YouTube ads, guys, social media management. If you could, you know, give us a referral, that's all we're asking for, okay? Jim, are you putting the recording in the group? Yes, we are going to email the recording out to everybody, all right? So we will do that. Krista Miller says, thank you. Oh, thank you, Miss Miller. She's one of our awesome Maya Elite and Wealth clients. Very cool. All right, guys, I appreciate your time. Make it a great day. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us in the Martial Arts Entrepreneurs group, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.